So, in the previous video you had learnt about the principle called as data abstraction, okay. That is data basic principles of OOP. You had learnt about data abstraction, that is the act of representing essential features without knowing the background details, okay. That is driving a car or using of a mobile or a camera. If the user is unaware but still he wants to go on working with it, is called as data abstraction. I have told you about class also. Class means it is a template of objects wherein which each class has objects in it, and these objects has some attributes and common behavior into it. A class is also referred to as a blueprint or a prototype of an object. Now, coming on with that of inheritance means to share common properties of one class with other class. That means the objects of one class acquires some properties from the objects of another class, okay. That means you are from standard 9th A students and 9th B students, that means you are from standard 9th, but some common properties is been shared among both the class. That may be either your books, your teachings, your bags, your uniforms, all are common properties that is being shared among both the classes, okay. The class that gets inherited to another class is called as a base class or a super class, and the class that inherits from the base class is known as the derived class or subclass or target. Take an example. I have told you about the example, that is standard 9th is the base class, wherein which standard 9th A and 9th B are the derived class of the base class, okay, wherein which both 9th A and 9th B are sharing the common properties from the base class. Is that clear to all about inheritance? Next comes polymorphism. Polymorphism says you that defines a process of using a function or a method more than one purpose. That means in a simpler words you can say that using a single function to carry multiple tasks, okay. Polymorphism says that using a function to carry multiple tasks. For example, you can say the term cell, C-E-L-L, okay. This C-E-L-L word is been either used in physics but has different meaning into it. It is also used in biology, again has a different meaning into it, or else you can consider as a small room, a small administrative cell, a small computer cell, okay. So, the same word is carrying multiple meaning into it. A single function, that means a single function carries a multiple task into it, is called as polymorphism, okay. Just look into one more 2 points, that is polymorphism supports function overloading, okay. Function overloading, it is a process of using a function or a method for more than one purpose, The term function overloading is defined as it has same function name with different parameters. Just look into the above example. It is having the same name CELL cell, but it has different meanings, okay. That is called as function overloading, okay. It is called as function overloading. Function overloading is defined as it has the same function name with different parameters, okay. So function overloading is a process to create number of functions or methods with the same name but with the different parameters into it, Is that clear to all? Okay. The next one, the last principle is encapsulation. The last principle is encapsulation. The system of wrapping of data and function into the single unit is called as encapsulation. What does encapsulation mean? Encapsulation says you that wrapping up of data and function into the single unit is called as encapsulation. Just take an example over here. You are considering that you are having object 1 and you are having object 2. In your object 1, you again have data and function, and again in your object 2, you are having data and function. So what is been told over here? The data of object 1 cannot be accessed directly by the object 2. Okay. Once again I will repeat, the data of object 1 can't be accessed directly from the object 2. But if object 1 wants to access the data of object 2, this can be done by using functions into it. This can be done by using function into it. Okay, is that clear? तो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, ऑब्जेक्ट 1 का डेटा को डायरेक्टली ऑब्जेक्ट 2 एक्सेस नहीं कर सकता, बट अगर करना चाहता है तो कैसे कर सकता है? थ्रू फंक्शंस, तो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ओवर हियर? द डेटा एंड फंक्शंस आर टुगेदर wrapped. Okay, that is called as encapsulation. Is that clear to all? Any doubt over here? Okay, I'll just stop. I complete with my unit 1, that is principles of object oriented programming. I'll just recall from the beginning for you all what and all we had gone through. That is about POP and OOP we had gone through over here. Okay, that is, I have told you about procedural oriented programming, that is a high level oriented programming. Example was basic COBOL, Fortran and C, but it had certain limitations and drawbacks because it was using more and more functions into it rather than data values. So as you are using more and more functions into the programming, that means your program becomes very lengthier. So it was very difficult for the user to prepare a program over here, hence POP programming language stopped. After that OOP came into being. OOP, what happens over here? You are using more and more data values rather than functions, and over here what happens? As we are using objects, the program becomes very simpler by using objects over here, and as objects is like a bridge to flow data from one function to another. So data hiding security was given over here in the object oriented programming concept, and it was able to solve lengthy programs also and complex programs also. Example was C++, Java and Python. Okay, the difference you can look into over here of POP and OOP. And the basic principles I have told you just now, that is about data abstraction, then inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. So here I complete with unit 1 of your chapter number 1. Thank you.